Yeah, but I don't, it says in Lech Lecha, I'm sure everyone focused when they were heard the parsha or Shnai Mikra or both. So it says I'm always intrigued by the people in Chumash who don't get we don't study a lot of, like for instance like Lot. We don't study a lot about that. Okay, yeah, but that's true. But Yitzchak doesn't come up much. But I think someone like Lot. No, we don't have a lot of information on him. No, you're right. But the thing is, I mean like someone like Lot who like. No, but I mean like this. I mean like Yitzchak we know is good, right? And let's say Lavan is bad, right? So we were very good at characterizing them. But what about Lot, for example? Like was Lot good or bad? He was like somewhere in between. So another good example is like someone like Hagar, right? So Hagar, who was Hagar, right? So it's very interesting. It says after everyone focuses on the pasuk prior to this pasuk, where it says that Yishmael is going to be Para Adam. I think we all know that. Like right. What? Oh, okay, good. So what about? But then afterwards, it says, "Vatikra Shem Hashem Hadover Eleha Ata Kel Ro'i." Right? Ki Amra Hagam Halom Isi Acharei Ro'i. Right. So Hagar says she has like this epiphany, and she calls this place.
God of vision. What is it?
She the God who sees all. Right. The God who sees. Because she says Hagam Halom Isi Acharei Ro'i. Now, what does that mean? So Rashi explains is one of those. I know it's like. Never understood it, but I think I was sorry for it. So Rashi says Lashon Tema. Okay, she was like bewildered, right? The Chisfura Hayisi, so she thought She'af Halom the Midbaros Ra'isi Shlucho Shamacham Achari Roi Osam Vesa Shal Avram. So basically it's like this. When she resided with Avram, so she witnessed Nevuah events, right? There's one other measure that says that she saw like Avram shaking. There's a whole idea like when you get Nevuah, it's almost like someone put it really well. It almost looks like getting a seizure, nice. Right? So it was like, so that's what she saw. She saw Nevuah, or you could argue she saw the Malachim, like when the Malachim came to visit Avram. So she witnessed that. So she was aware of such a thing taking place. But she said that made sense in the house of Avram. But she couldn't imagine such a thing taking place outside the house of Avram, like in a midbar. But it's like foolish. I mean, on the surface, it sounds like Hagar was like a primitive person. Well, like, why would she think that? But she could be that primitive.
Why would she think that?
Right. So the first step you have to take is that's why she would. I think it's more than that though. So you would say, oh, she thought that because she was right. She was near Avram. She was zocher to that. Okay. But the Sforno adds another thing. The Sforno says, "Hine kriyas Shem Hashem hi atfila." The fact that she says the Shem Hashem, that is the tefillah. Asher b'shvacho shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu machshavas mispala al b'dvarav, and that's the praise of God that's in the thinking of the mispala, because it says l'olam yisadar adam shvacho shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu v'achach yispal. Ki bazei chaven mispala l'kel yisbarach. So it goes this thing where like basically when she says vatikra Shem Hashem adover leah, so she's saying somehow that's like this. That's the use of the Shem Hashem is the ultimate Sheva. So what's that idea? Because you both were saying before that you see that she probably thought it was because of Chus Avram, right? But the interesting thing about her personality, which I think is the pshat. So you see, why does she originally join the Avram group?
Well, she doesn't. Paro sends her off.
No, but she leaves on her own.
What?
It said, Rashi
says Paro sends her off.
Actually says Bas Paro Haisa. She was a daughter of Paro. Kishara Nisim Shanasa Lasara. When she saw, right, the Nisim that what do you call it, that were done with Paro. Oh, I'm sorry. When he saw, you're right. I'm sorry. You're right. Right. You're right. Excuse me. You guys are right. So when he saw the Nisim that were done by Sarah, Amar Muta Shadei Biti Shivcha Vaizeh Logvir Bais Acher. So it's better that she be a maid servant in his house. Okay.
Different shot on that, or
no. So but what's that? What does that show us about Hagar? Why would
who left?
Hagar.
She left voluntarily, or
he sent her. He sent her. But what was attracting? But she went along. So what was attractive about Avram?
Voodoo Judaism.
What does that mean?
Bunch of spooky stuff.
No, but what was she attracted to?
Well, how do you know she couldn't?
I'll tell you why I know she was attracted to it.
Wait. Yeah.
When she gets pregnant, she says to Sarah, "Look, you're the one who supposedly was this, the nice person, and yet I'm the one who's got pregnant." Right?
So you see, okay, fine. So
she definitely accepted that. Okay, so I think the things like this. I think it's very applicable today. I think that she thought that why did Avram get Nevuah? All right, so I think she thought Avram got Nevuah because God selected unique people in the world. Right, there were unique people in the world that these people were selected to get like prophecy, and Avram was one of those people. Avram was like this unique individual who stood out from everybody else, but as a bria. There's God created the universe, and there's human beings, then there's like these superhumans, like Avram. And that's why it would only exist in Abraham's.
What are you saying?
Her assumption was that, but how do I know it was her assumption? Because look, it's consistent. Her attraction to the situation by Sarah and Avram was from the externals, by the miracles. So she probably thought that there was something intrinsic in Abraham that made him different than any other human being. So why would you ever think God would communicate with anyone else outside of Avram? But when she had a revelation from the Malach, what did she says Hashem Kel Roi. What does that mean? It means that she recognizes it's nothing to do with something intrinsic in Avram. You merit a response from God. So any person theoretically could have a conversation with God if they're on the right level. So you have to be perfected, but it's not something intrinsic in the Gavra. Let's clarify. The kind of nevuah she got. So she had it through a Malach. Okay, so that's a good question because you have these cases where she had to be on a high level, right? But was she on a higher level than David Melech? Hard to say. But it could be
from the nevuah. I mean,
right. But the problem is that the Rambam. Yeah. Let's start with the Tur. So the Tur says in terms of Halacha Lemaaseh by the Chassan being Patur, because we have to know Halacha Lemaaseh today how this works. You guys are going to get married, I assume. If anyone gets married near Sukkot, what do you do during Chol HaMoed? So first the Rambam says, essentially the Tur quotes the Rambam that the Rambam holds that the Chassan and the Shoshvinov and the Bnei Chuppah are Patur. But the Rosh didn't like that. So the Rosh says that the Shoshvinin, that's interesting, he holds the Shoshvinin are not considered to be Ostim in mitzvah. Right? V'chayim mikol mitzvahs chos min tefillah, tefillin. V'chasan afbi shepater mikol mitzvahs chayv b'sukkah. So, now why according to the Rosh, guys should remember this, why according to the Rosh is the Chassan chayv and sukkah? Because who does he paskin like?
Zera?
Rav Zera. But Rav Zera... No, not Rav Zera lechatchila, Rav Zera mitzvah. Right, so which is an amazing thing. But anyway, so he holds that there's no reason why the chassan can't eat in the sukkah. So now the Rambam holds the chassan's patur, the Rosh holds he's chayav. If you think like an achor now, not in a bad way, I'm saying in a good way, what's an achor going to say if you have such a machlokas? You have to start thinking, this is how psak works, immediately.
Why?
You see the Rambam holds, the chassan's definitely patur. If you read ahead, you can see that. The Rosh holds, he's chayav. So what's the halacha l'maaseh going to be? No.
You go by the Rosh?
Well, there's a way to be that's okay.
I know you have to find a way to make a pshara.
Right. What would the pshara be?
What is the pshara?
Pshara means a compromise.
Because according to the Rambam, it's not patur. It's not like patur.
Right. It's not patur aval stupid.
Yeah.
Right. Because Rav Zera did hold that way. Because even he has to agree to Rav Zera held it was a kiyum.
Right.
He just holds that it's a kiyum. It's nice to do.
The Rosh holds that.
The Rosh holds that Rav Zera's learning was that it's a mitzvah, meaning that when Rav Zera did it. He did it as the mitzvah. This is the way to do it.
Right, so you're still
and he passes that way.
So you're still Makayim the Rambam and the Rosh.
Exactly, but the Rambam even holds his patur. No, Ezra, you're 100% right. He's not holding his patur but stupid. It's not like if it's raining. He's holding his patur but as a kiyum. So what? How do you get out of it? What's the pshara? What's the compromise? You eat the sukkah,
but be happy in the chuppah.
No, but
don't make a bracha.
Thank you. Don't make a bracha. That's a pshara. So okay, well, let's look at the Shulchan Aruch first. The Shulchan Aruch says in number 3, the Chassan and Shoshvin in the Chol Bnei Chuppah Patur min Sukkah. He passes like the Rambam. It's clear. Okay, we'll get to Bris Milah in a second. But the Mishnah Berurah says v'yesh mechayvin oso. But there are those who say he's chayav in the sukkah. The sphere lay the afshalechal b'sukkah the b'chuppah because he could eat in the sukkah and be happy in the chuppah. V'alkein he's skimu achronim. So therefore the achronim agree. Deroy lechasan lahachmir al atzmo. Right. So the chasan should be machmir and leishe b'sukkah v'lo levarach, but he shouldn't make a bracha. Okay. So that takes care of the chasan. So the halacha l'maaseh today is if you're a chasan, halacha l'maaseh would be that really. And it's and let's say you got married 2 days before Sukkot, so you're going to have some of your Shivas Mei Mishnah during Sukkot. You should sit in the Sukkah. You should make a bracha. Right? That seems to be the overall psak. Now, what about the Shoshvina? Okay, what about the Bnei Chuppah? What about your buddies? What about your friends who are hanging out with you and celebrating with you? So again, so the Rambam, it's clear about the Shoshvina and Bnei Chuppah that they're patur, right? The Rosh says no. The Rosh says the Shoshvina and the attendees are not considered asuk in mitzvah, and therefore the chayiv in all mitzvahs. So your buddies who are with you celebrating, they can't get out of sukkah. They can't get out of sukkah. And the Mishnah Berurah says the same thing. He says the shoshvinin kisha ochlan eitzel achasan u'masamchan oso b'soch shevi yemei mishter v'yoshin sham b'sukkah ein sarach levarach. So the shoshvinim who hang out with the chasan the whole time, they will be with them in the sukkah and they won't make a bracha. But if they go home, but let's say they go home. Let's say they have one meal with the chasan, but they want to go home and have a meal with their family. Of course, the chayiv and sukkah in the chayiv levarach. Because they're not asuk. So the Rosh holds that it's not, and this is an important thing, we'll see this later on, but the din of a shoshvina and a bnei chuppah, it's not a din that they're defined as being a shoshvina and bnei chuppah, it's simply situational. In other words, their definitions as bnei chuppah only emerges through its seer for the chasan. When they're with the chasan, then they define a bnei chuppah. But if they're at home, are they still bnei chuppah? No, they're just eating, they're just guys eating at home. In other words, it's a situational identity. It's not an intrinsic identification in who they are. It's not the Shoshvinin.
It's not allowed.
This is Shari Tshuva, by the way. Look at number 5. He says, look at the Be'er Hetev. And then he says, now, what about today? He says, Dibaz Manenu, Hashoshvinim v'chol b'nei chuppah chayavim. So he says today you don't have this issue. Now no one mentioned this, but it's true. Do we really have shoshvinim b'nei chuppah today?
No.
I mean, the way Sheva Brachos works. So the truth is that you don't really have there's the same people who don't stay with you every day. Okay, don't have that anymore. We don't really have that phenomenon. So today, if you were someone who celebrated, if you're celebrating with the Chassan, right? It's interesting. You don't even acquire that shame of b'nei chuppah.
So there are.
She'ein derech lisod ha'chasan v'hakala b'socha sukkah.
We don't even have Shoshmina.
Right. We don't have that.
We don't have
We don't have that.
any-
We don't have today.
Right?
Right. Okay. So he would hold. So the Shari Tshuva brings down that today, which I think is how he paskin. I'm almost positive he paskin that way. That really the only time you'd ever have a question by the chassan, by the situation of chassan, is only by the chassan himself. It never comes up by his buddies. His buddies are always chayiv and sukkah. So if your best friend gets married and you want to celebrate with him all 7 days, you're still chayiv and sukkah. You're still chayiv. And if you ate with the chassan in the sukkah, you'd have to make a bracha. That's the psak for today.
But the Chatan today doesn't have to say.
Why?
No, you bring up a good point. As you're saying is correct. In other words, there's a din of shivas me mishta.
Shiva.
Right. It's not a meal. It's not a day. All right. And if you see today, it's just not the case. You don't have the same people hanging out with you the entire time.
Because back then it was a smaller community. It's like, no,
Oh, yeah,
go far away.
yeah,
probably.
yeah.
Makes
Today we
sense.
don't. The Chatan doesn't say bracha in the sukkah, right? Today.
Correct. He does not make a bracha on the
Today's
sukkah.
talk.
Right. Does not make a bracha on the sukkah. Correct. The only other thing I wanted to do was the case of bris milah. So if you look at the Shulchan Aruch, we'll skip the base also for now. The Shulchan Aruch says usudas bris milah, okay, v'chein suda she'ochlin eitzah ha'yoledes. Now we all know what sudas bris milah is, right? That's obviously okay. But also the suda that by the yoledes was that there was also be like a special meal, like a celebratory meal that the woman would have after she gives birth.
Different type of meal?
Yeah, it's not a sudas bris milah, not the classic, not the bagels and cream cheese.
Bris milah?
That's what the Peros he's talking about. What?
Before bris milah?
Before the bris milah. Okay. So they're chayim v'sukkah. Now, why would sudas bris milah be chayim and sukkah? Or what's the havmina? Why does he even bring this in? Why does he bring this in?
Obviously you want to compare.
What exactly is?
So okay, no, so Ezra, I think what you're saying is correct. Also, by the case of sudas bris milah. Now, with sudas bris milah, you would think it's a din in the situation of simcha, right? There's anytime you're happy, so then you're You're patur from going to sukkah. But you see that by sudas bris milah, that's not the case. So it's not just a din in any type of simcha. It's specifically the simcha of the chassan. It's only unique to that case. So you can't use the situation of bris milah, right, as a mechanism of getting out of eating in the sukkah. It's only that one worked. Okay.